Hello and welcome back to the Common Colt Podcast. Colts Podcast, real takes, no clickbait. I'm Josh Hutchins, joined by Dan Hertzler. Dan, what's going on, brother?
Too much, not too much. Hey, got some big news here. Jonathan Taylor and the Colts have agreed, or at least the Colts have, from their perspective, have agreed to give him permission to seek a trade. Josh, this is kind of the first time that I'm starting to really feel like this might actually happen. There might actually be a Jonathan Taylor trade before the season starts. So what's your thoughts right now?
It is pretty wild, and we give one-word reactions, and my one word's disappointed. I'm disappointed that things have kind of played out the way they have so far. Obviously, I think it was 2 days ago, Jim Irsay on a preseason interview said he's excited for Jonathan Taylor to be back, and just like that, 2 days later, they're giving him permission to seek a trade. Now, it's interesting because this doesn't necessarily mean he will be traded. Obviously, if it could happen. I mean, there's two things that have to happen though for this to really go through. First of all, the compensation for the Colts has to be right, and second of all, Jonathan Taylor has to get his compensation right, because I'm guessing if they trade him, whoever he gets traded to is going to have to sign him to an extension right away. Which means that maybe the Colts are saying, hey, go out there and find the deal that you're looking for and come back to us when you can't find that deal. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it still could be a negotiating tactic. It could still be the Colts playing hardball and just, hey, we're going to call your bluff. Okay, we're going to keep passing this down, and as long as you want to take it. Kind of reminds me of the old story with Seinfeld, George Costanza saying he had a house in the Hamptons, and he just kept driving all the way to the Hamptons because he didn't want to be wrong. That's what kind of it feels like. But this is the first time I'm actually thinking, you know what, as Colts fans, we got to come to the reality that this could happen, and we might have a season without Jonathan Taylor. And now the question comes, and you brought it up, what is good compensation? Are we looking for a second? Is a third good enough? Do you think they even get that? Where do you fall on this line? Like, what would you take in a deal for Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah, if I'm the Colts, I'm trying to take maybe a conditional pick, a third-round pick that turns into a second-round pick based off of snaps or games played, maybe. And obviously, Jonathan Taylor, I don't know quite what he's looking for money-wise, but we have to assume it's top-tier money in the league. And I think that's where where the deal might fall through. You look around the league and you look at the teams who are in the running back market, and odds are, I mean, you hear teams like Miami maybe linked to them. You hear maybe Chicago. I don't know. I'm looking through and I don't see a team that would really want to fork out the cash that he wants. It's really delicate when you figure in that he has really no leverage as a running back, and he's coming off an injured ankle and apparently a back injury. I really struggle seeing the Colts getting the compensation they want and Taylor getting the compensation he wants.
We're only a few months removed from the whole Lamar Jackson kind of thing, where the Ravens basically said the same thing. Hey, go figure out what contract you're worth. Go to the free market. And from all reports was that nobody was interested. They didn't want to give up what it takes. And I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head as well, too. Like, does another team want to take on his workload, his contract coming off the injuries? And maybe the Colts are just betting on that. So, it's interesting because I think a day ago I saw Josh Jacobs said he's going to report by the end of training camp, and he's going to play week one. We know what Barkley did in the Giants, and he kind of got a little bit of extra money, but not really a big deal. So the running backs aren't really in a good spot. And again, we might be sitting here 10 days from now, so, get excited because Jonathan Taylor's still suiting up. And that's what we want. We really still want Jonathan Taylor on this team. But it's just can't cost us as much as maybe what he wants. And I think that's where the problem is.
I love your comparison to Lamar Jackson. I hadn't thought about that. Obviously, one's a quarterback, one's a running back. But still, it's the team saying, hey, you know what? Go out there and look. Go out there and look and see what you can get. And odds are the Colts have done some work on the back end, and Ballard's got connections with different GMs, and these GMs and these owners work together with certain things. I know there were some people who believe that the NFL owners have worked together against Lamar Jackson. I don't know if that's true or not, but you have to wonder if it's going to be the same with this running back market, because truth is these teams don't want to pay these running backs. So let's say Jonathan Taylor does suit up for the Colts. Because I think at the end of the day, we both want him to be an Indianapolis Colt. It's going to be good for the team and Anthony Richardson's development. What is going to happen to make him happy to make him to come back to Indianapolis? Is it going to be, does an extension have to happen before the season, or what has to happen to make this work at this point?
I think there's two avenues that they can go. Is one, like you said, just give him a little bit extra money. Maybe they extend it a year or two, something kind of minor, but a little extra money up front. So he feels like he quote unquote won this. It could also come with kind of a handshake agreement that we're not going to franchise tag you. That's one of the things these running backs hate, is the franchise tag, because it's another year on their body, another year without having the multi-year guaranteed money. So maybe they're like, hey, play out this year and then we'll either sign you or we'll let you go, kind of thing. We're not going to franchise tag you, and maybe that's all it takes. There's going to have to be something where the organization goes in favor of Jonathan Taylor, but then also Jonathan Taylor's got to come out and do something to win the fan base back. I think he's really hurt his status amongst the fans. No one is really, I think, cheering for him at this point in this whole debacle. And he's got to come back and be like, hey, I'm all in. I'm ready to go. Let's win this. Let's get going. Let's get moving. And hopefully it just takes one game with him, popping off, 20 carries for 160 yards and Colts win. But there's a lot that still has to happen. And it's going to be interesting over the next, I would say, 7 to 10 days, see what happens here.
Yeah, I think for the Colts, the best thing they can do is say, hey, look, we're top in the league in cap space for this season right now, this 2023 season. We have some money to fork over. We'll give you a pay raise this season. We're not going to extend your contract, but we'll raise your pay this season, and then we'll evaluate after the year again, like you said, and at least kind of give him something to be happy about. And that's probably the best compromise you can meet at this point. I think that's the only way. It would have to be for Taylor to return, in my eyes. Nobody's willing to pay Taylor what he wants. The Colts aren't going to get a big offer draft pick wise. And the Colts say, hey, you know what? We're going to pay you. We're going to give you a raise on this final year of your contract, and we'll reevaluate again in the offseason like they wanted to do. It's dicey. It's escalated to a point that we had hoped it wasn't going to get to. But, hey, this is how negotiations go in the NFL, and it's business at the end of the day.
Yeah, we'll throw out one more thing just to think about. It just takes one team, too. Remember with the whole Carson Wentz kind of thing, Ballard just found the one team and like you said, made that conditional play. And if Ballard finds that team out there, Jonathan Taylor finds that one team, and it is, he might be gone. So we got to at least entertain this idea because it is a possibility now.
All right, well, 1 out of 10 scale. 10 saying he's gone, most likely to be traded. 1 saying he's being a Colt. I'm going to hold your feet to the fire.
Yeah, I'm going to go 6. I think I was a lot more 3 and 4 before. I'm going to go 6 that he's going to get traded. I still believe that he's not going to find a suitor, but I'll say 6. What about you?
7. I think he's going to go. I think it's very likely because I don't think this relationship is very good right now. It's not like a legendary or a long time relationship that's been built over years that feels like it can be corrected. They're still a pretty young player. And everything that we've seen, kind of how this has played out in the media, and based on Irsay's comments, based on Jonathan Taylor tweeting things and letting his agent go crazy, I don't think that relationship's very good right now. And I don't think either guy, I don't think there's any love lost right now if there is a trade done. So, yeah, we'll see. Hey, guys, comment what you think. I'm curious what you guys think, how likely this is going to be, but we're thinking it's happening just about. So comment below, subscribe to our channel for more Colts content. We appreciate you watching, guys, and have a great day.